We are told to take a lesson from the fig tree, that its branches become tender and put forth its leaves. And it is said, "This is the time you know that summer is near." So also, when you see these things taking place, you know that He is near at the very gates. Now, what are these things? These things are suffering. The sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, and the stars will be falling from heaven, and the powers in the heaven will be shaken. So some of these visible, practical things are being presented before us to show what could this be. And we are being told, "Truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place." Now there is every possibility that we take this imagination to somewhere when the whole earth or the whole of humanity will be coming to an end. That could be something in our mind. But Jesus is also speaking of this generation which will not pass away until all these things have taken place. And joining this with the first reading, it is said of Michael, the archangel, "The protector of your people shall arise." Arise for what? You know, when the soldiers rise, you know, when the fighters rise, they rise to fight. And fight for what? The time for your people shall be delivered. So all these things, time of anguish taking place, there will be fights, there will be all this suffering. It is not to destroy us. It is to save us, to deliver us. He is near at the very gates, not to condemn us, but to save us. And as we have seen in all through our life, these evil forces, evil powers would be constantly at work, trying to do all their very best to take us in their fold. But know that Christ, through His suffering, has destroyed these powers, has won victory over these powers. And in our lives, when this suffering comes about, when you see the sun darkened at one particular stage, not necessarily maybe the physical sun, but all the glow and the light in your life, you can feel the miseries of your life. Everything gets into a darkened mode. Are you able to realize and see this God or this archangel Michael rising to fight against all these dark forces of evil? To fight against all this darkness? Do you see that there is about to be a time of deliverance, or do we give up? When things gets worse, do we see this God is near to us? God is fighting with us. God is working with us. When we are about to close this liturgical year, all these features will be presented to us in all these coming days. That God is there as a judge, end times, kingdom of God. Let us focus our attention on this amazing God that we have. A God who is there not to destroy us but to save us. And we may not necessarily focus on that particular one day and that particular time when the whole earth, when the humanity will be destroyed, but when it will be the close of our own individual lives. When the sufferings, when this darkness will be integral part of our life. From all this suffering and from all this darkness, are we able to see that saving hand of God? And for that matter, it's not just the end of our life. This can happen every day of our lives. That we go through sufferings, we go through these fights against darkness. May we be awakened to see that God is at work in our lives, fighting with us. That this Michael Archangel is there participating in all the fights of our life against these evil forces.